This video is 11 things to never type into Google Translate. I haven't used Google Translate in a long time, but I've never known it was things you shouldn't or should never type into it. So
I don't even know about this.
We're gonna go ahead and jump into it.
Google Translate is a very handy tool. When it comes to translating a language we don't understand, say Chinese, we can easily type in those foreign words and see what they mean in English. But aside from being useful, there's something strange about this service. For example, if you type in these words into the program, you'll get a response that's quite unusual. This, without a doubt, is pretty creepy. That said, here are 11 things you shouldn't type into Google Translate if you don't want to be creeped out.
This is if you want to.
That is if you want to.
I thought it said this though.
Are you Satan?
Are you
Typing this in may seem strange to those who have no idea about this odd phenomenon or glitch going on with Google Translate. If you type in these words with spaces in between while setting the language to Somali, you'll get a response that's pretty chilling.
That's what it's saying. English.
No, Somali. Are you Satan? Come and watch.
Now, you may be asking, what exactly does this mean? Some may see this as something arbitrary, whereas others may see this as something meaningful. Come and watch could mean anything, but if you're thinking like most people, this could be an implicit response to the question that was asked. In other words, this response is stating that it is in fact Satan, and is telling the person to see for him or herself.
Who knows?
Whether or not this response was randomly generated by Google's algorithm, the response is nonetheless very spooky.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
Are you capable of killing someone today? Of course, typing this in makes no sense, and you would expect the response that's given to have no meaning as well. However, this isn't the case with Google Translate. As stated before, typing in this sentence with spaces in between will give you a creepy response.
Killing somebody. Today.
Not too bad.
Do you have a life insurance? Trying to know that first.
Do you have a life insurance policy? What makes this creepy is the logical response that's generated by Google. Had Google Translate said something else, like something random, this wouldn't be so creepy. But the fact that it responded with an answer that any human would say makes this odd and very unsettling. It makes you wonder if you're actually talking to a person or a bot that's pretty advanced. Regardless of which of the two it might be, the given response is very strange. How do I sell my soul to Satan? This isn't something you would ask unless you were really thinking about selling it. Now, it's worth mentioning that most of these responses are translated from sentences that are thought to be Somali. Of course, these words aren't Somali, but the fact that Google gives an unusual response under this specific language is strange.
Evidently they want to. Right. Do you want to do so?
Why Somali and not any other language? If you do a bit of research, you'll find that Somali is not a language that's spoken by most of the world's population. With this in mind, it makes you wonder why this service will only translate words under a language not spoken by many. Perhaps this is something intentionally done by the engineers at Google. This may be the case considering that Google has other Easter eggs found within their other online services. Who knows? It would be much better knowing that it's a person that's playing around with us, instead of an AI bot that's giving morbid responses. Are you a murderer or not? Doubtless, you would never ask this question to a stranger since it's something you wouldn't say to someone you meet for the first time. It would make you come off as weird and just creepy. But since you're only asking a program, why not? There's no way that a program can answer this, since it's nothing more than just lines of code. Well, you'll be surprised by the response that's given. It's a great way to start your own business is something you would definitely not expect. No one would say such a thing, which makes this response very odd. Such responses by Google Translate makes this program even more mysterious.
Number 7.
Are you a criminal? Obviously, this is something you would never ask a stranger, especially a convict. But as stated before, you're only asking a program, so it wouldn't hurt to ask,
So
right?
they asked me for
Well, it
money.
wouldn't hurt,
Yeah,
but
not
it would
real
most
person.
likely leave you feeling unsettled after seeing the response that's given.
Translate after the word. Is it? Do you have a problem?
Do you have a problem is something a criminal would say. Again,
Yeah.
Google's logical responses is what makes this scary. Had it said something along the lines of no, maybe, or yes, then it wouldn't be so creepy.
Yeah, if you stand up.
But an intelligent response like this is just weird. Perhaps there's someone that's actually playing around with us. Who knows? Hopefully it's not some machine learning bot that's learned most of the world's negative responses. Dog. Unlike the previous sentences, this one isn't a question. Rather, this is just a sentence containing the word dog 17 times. Now, how can this program respond to something that isn't a question?
What?
And you're probably thinking that its response might be as random as this sentence. Well, it's actually quite the contrary. Typing in dog 17 times will give you this.
Doomsday clock is 3 minutes at 12. We are experiencing characters and a dramatic development in the world, which indicates that we are approaching the end times and Jesus' return. So that must mean dog.
17 times, yeah.
I don't get
Who knew that typing in the same word over and over would generate a prophecy? Apparently, some believe that this is God's way of communicating with the modern world, considering that dog is an anagram for God and that the number 17 has some meaning. According to some religious sources, the number 17 symbolizes overcoming the enemy, which probably means that God is overcoming the enemy or sins of the world by wiping out humanity on a day known as Doomsday. Again, this is all just a theory, so nothing is for sure. However, Google's response is just unexplainable, which makes this very mysterious.
I ain't heard it. You heard it?
Do you want to kill me tonight? As you might have noticed, there's a slew of things you can ask Google Translate. Because of the given responses, there's a subreddit known as Translate Gate, in which is dedicated to posting some of the strange messages that are generated. Among the things that are posted on the subreddit is the question, do you want to kill me tonight? To which Google responds, do not hesitate to contact me.
Do you want to kill me tonight?
Although being very strange, there has to be some logical reason for giving such responses like this one. There's no way that the program's algorithm is generating these words out of thin air. Doubtless, further investigation needs to be done. Are you in
Are
danger?
you in danger?
The fact that you have to write these sentences in a cryptic way makes no sense.
Hey,
But doing so makes it seem like someone that's in danger. It's like trying to talk to someone that's being held hostage at Google. And further adding to this thought is a response given by Google Translate.
are you in danger?
It's crazy, it's too late.
It's too
That's
late.
crazy, but it's too
A simple response that leaves you feeling creeped out.
Are you in danger?
Again, there has to be an explanation for this.
You don't get it?
Now, there's this theory floating around that Google is pulling information from its other services like Gmail and Google Docs to construct its responses in Google Translate. If this is the case, then this is definitely a huge problem. The responses we're seeing may be coming from email messages or other private documents from Google's database. This, of course, would be a breach of privacy. Doubtless, this is a much more scary theory. Are you watching me? Personally, this is something I wouldn't want to know, since knowing would put me on edge and have me looking over my shoulder every few seconds. But if you'd like to know, then by all means go ahead. Just know that Google's response may leave you feeling a bit unsettled.
It's a stalker type message, right?
I love you so much is equivalent to saying I want you, which is what a stalker would say. Of course, it's only weird in this context. Had the question been something else, perhaps not involving you, the person typing this in, and the answer the same, then it wouldn't be so creepy. Are you going to hurt me? Most of these questions seem to be begging for an answer that will make us feel uneasy.
Type this kind of stuff.
This further adds to the theory mentioned earlier. This all may be intentional, as Google is known for having other so-called Easter eggs found in services such as Google Maps and Google Docs. But what sets this apart from those are the creepy responses that are generated, some of which are a little dark. For example, take this question, which is followed by a response similar to the other chilling responses that are given.
Are you gonna hurt me? You are in my head. Come on and take me to your home. That is crazy.
Who knew that Google AI could be so creepy?
Creepy? Yeah, that seems creepy.
E.T. It's very clear that you can generate lots of responses, most of which are creepy from Google Translate.
What do you mean with
Some of the things that are typed in don't even have to make sense. Take ET, which if you type over and over, you'll get a response that's just weird.
Eat. Make meat. Eat meat. Make eat yourselves. That sounds so dumb.
There's so many responses you can get from the service. So, that being said, it'd be interesting to see what responses you guys get from the program.
Come on, program is it?
Thanks for watching. If you got any weird responses from Google Translate, let me know in the comments below.
Okay. So that was 11 names to never type in Google. I won't never try this.
Yeah, I won't be typing nothing in Google Translate, especially nothing weird, because they already showed you what.
You ain't never do it ever?
Not no weird stuff. I've typed in words from different languages to see what they mean in English and vice versa, but never nothing weird like that, like sentences like, are you watching me, or are you a murderer?
Weird, creepy stuff. But let us know down below if y'all did before, and let us know what other videos y'all want to see.
And we'll be sure to try to get to them. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
And we'll see y'all next video.
Peace.